would like to give you a live preview of what we have been working on at Treble for quite some time here with the IFC import. So for that, I'm going to jump over to the Treble app, and here this looks more or less as usual. But what is different here in this version here, the preview, is that when you click the import model here, there's a tiny difference here. Is that we now have the support to import an IFC file. So I've prepared a test house here that I'll just find. Here we go. And it is as simple as kind of just taking this file and dragging and dropping it into the window and clicking upload. All right. And meanwhile, this upload is happening and the processing of the file, I'm going to just show you guys what is actually in the file. So the IFC here is, in this case, it's just it's a test model of a house, the Treble house here, or something we concocted to make a rather simple test case for you to show you guys. So we can see here this model consists of 2 different building stories. And if I fold these out, I can see the different spaces that is included here. So we have here the studio space. This is the one behind here. We have a small bathroom space here, and then we have the big kitchen and living room with all the furniture in. And on the top floor here, we have some spaces as well. We have a bedroom, and here for this purpose, we filled this space with some chairs, and we've also created some curtains here. Some things we often see in these IFC models, that you have these types of details in there. And then we have a couple of more rooms here, and as you can see, the kitchen and living space and this attic space here is actually coupled by this staircase here. Let's see if I can find it. So the staircase here, and then we've added a couple of different pieces of furniture into the room. This is not a very complex IFC model, but these are mostly for demonstration purposes, just to show you guys how we feel like these elements should be simplified and what kind of processing will happen when you upload a file through Treble. So we have the kind of furniture inside the room, and we have these window panes here. You can see that they have quite some detail, and of course the staircase here has the railing and the stairs in there as well in the details. If we zoom in a little bit closer here on this, you see you have a lot of small details around these chairs here as well. So this is what we're looking at, and what we would like to make from this is, of course, again, not a model of the building elements themselves, but rather a model of the air inside of the space. So let me just switch over to the Treble app. Let's see, this is finished. Yeah, so it is finished uploading. So what you see here in the Treble app now is a new window for showing the feedback here and what you want to import. So first off, you see here that you should select a new space to put in your models. And here I'm just gonna create a new test space here. Test space. Then I can choose what all the models should be called under each. I'm just gonna say this is my initial model. And then when we go down here to the space browser, you can see that we can select these different ones here, and you have some different logos here showing that there is some warnings to these, which is very related to what you would see when you upload another file, or when you're in SketchUp. You see these different things here, like short edges that could tell you that there might be some things here that would require your attention. It's not necessarily necessary, but if you find that the runtime of the simulation is short, is long. What else you see here is, like, on this side here, you see what kind of layers your geometry got separated into. So here, this one has the basic wall. It has a floor here, which is also the ceiling, because the floor was kind of dividing the space. We of course have the floor of the actual space, and then we have the windows and the doors. And one of the details here that's good to look at is that details of the windows, which you know, looked, if you remember correctly, then we have a lot more details around these windows, and this has been simplified down to more of an extrusion in from the space. So this is a rather simple space, and this turned out to be a watertight space that you can then run a simulation on. And this is a fairly decent acoustic model, I would say. So if we then look at some of the more detailed case here, if we see this kitchen and living space, let's see if I can find it here in the browser. Then we see that, of course, you know, that the space got extracted. So you have only the interior walls of the space. You will see furthermore that the windows, of course, also got simplified down. What you additionally see here is that we removed the railings of the staircase, and these complicated chairs that we had before got simplified down to simply 2 surfaces for each chair. And also this furnishing here, if we look a bit closer onto this, you'll see that you have a lot of triangles and a lot of details around these, but these got simplified down to simply boxes and a boxy version of this couch. And this is now ready to run a simulation on, and run a wave-based simulation on as well. So once, let's just have a look at here this master bedroom room with all the chairs. And what happened here is that the curtains got simplified down to just a box, and you can have all these chairs here that got simplified quite a bit. Not just 2 surfaces here. But the crux of it here is that we have these different spaces separated out, and the next thing I can do here, if I'm satisfied with this, is I can simply import these spaces. And once this just processes for a little while, you can see here now in my homepage, I get the project, which is called test space, and then I get all the spaces from the IFC file put in here separately. And now I can go in to my kitchen and living space here, for example. Then I can start running simulations on it. Start creating new. Let me just open it up to show you guys. So creating a new simulation. Initial simulation, and then I can start assigning materials to these layers that got extracted from the space. All right, but if I go back here, one thing I can also do, if I'm not completely satisfied with the result that got out, I can also go to the space and find the model here. And if I click the 3 dots, I can download the source model, which is a DXF file of this space and not the IFC file itself. So I can continue then in whatever, in SketchUp or in Rhino or in whatever kind of 3D modeling tool I want to use. I can pull this in, I can make the changes, and I can upload it again straight to this model so that you get another iteration here. So we're kind of enabled to use this as a starting point to move on further.